Chapter 3. The Street of Ashes. The city was dying. Naomi barely recognized the streets she had roamed hundreds of times. The earthquake had turned glass towers into jagged skeletons and split roads into deep, yawning fissures. Smoke curled from burning wreckage, mixing with the thick layer of dust hanging in the air. Car alarms screamed, sirens howling around them from every direction. The chaos felt boundless as they ran through it. Naomi's ribs ached. Every breath felt like needles, but she didn't stop. Brett led the way, gripping her hand tightly, keeping her steady as they navigated the fractured pavement. Celeste ran beside them, reaching out ever so often when a heel got stuck. Naomi's legs burned, her mind racing between grief and survival. A part of her wanted to collapse and let go, but deep down she knew her mother would kick her ass if she gave up. Joan's women carried on. They cut through an alley, emerging onto a destroyed boulevard where overturned cars and crumbling buildings made the path almost impassable. Brett's breath was labored.
The bridge is still up. If we can get past this, we'll only be a few streets away.
Celeste nodded.
If the bridge is still intact, there'll be emergency responders.
Naomi's eyes roamed over the bodies littering the ground. A woman sat on the sidewalk, clutching her leg, crying for someone named James. A man dug through the rubble of what had once been a corner store, his hands bleeding, calling for his daughter, Anne. Naomi's throat tightened. The grief she had shoved down threatened to rise to the surface. They were like her. Another tremor rocked the road they were on. Naomi staggered, catching herself against the hood of a crumpled sedan. A few yards away, another building gave way, followed by fresh screams. Celeste let out a sharp gasp, pointing toward the intersection ahead.
We need to go now, before the next one hits.
The three sped up, breaking free onto an open stretch of road. Just as the intersection hiccuped, the ground quaked beneath them as a gut-wrenching crack split through the asphalt right in front of them. Naomi skidded to a halt. Celeste let out a sharp scream, stumbling forward as the earth opened up. Brett jumped over the crack, catching Celeste at the last second, yanking her away from the widening fissure. The two had made it to the other side. For a moment, they all stood shocked at what he had achieved. The sound of the crack widening brought Naomi back, and the aftershock knocked her off her feet. She slammed against the pavement, the impact knocking the wind out of her. By the time she pushed herself up, coughing through the dust, the opening had grown wider. Naomi's heart tap danced. The crack was massive. Chunks of asphalt crumbled off, forcing her back several feet. Brett and Celeste watched, their faces tight with worry. Standing, Naomi knew she had seconds before the mouth of the rift became too wide for her to jump. Her chest heaved as she took several steps back.
All right, Naomi. Time to be the elephant.
She whispered as she ran, then jumped. For a moment, she felt like a leaf on the wind. The void beneath her stretched wide, threatening to swallow her whole.